Hi there, we are Mike and Brenda Baker, and today we're going to be talking about parenting matters, remarriage, and the red flags to watch. Now, this particular video is a little bit different than our other videos in the fact that this will apply to people, those of you who are looking for a potential new spouse. Maybe you're looking for a new relationship and you want to make sure that your relationship is compatible. These are our red flags that we want you to really pay attention to, because down in the comments on a lot of the different videos, we always see people having issues with their spouse and how they're parenting their own children, okay? How their spouse is parenting the children that they brought into the marriage with them. So with that, here we go.
So, number one, let's just start there. People show you who they are, and it's your job to believe them. Now, what does that mean? That means you need to watch. You need to watch closely. Remember, we're talking to you guys who've already been married once. You're looking to enter another marriage, another blended family situation. Well, now it's a blended family situation.
The potential new spouse.
The potential new spouse, you need to watch who they are, because they will do things. Everybody has tells, just like in poker, all right? There are tells that will let you know that, all right? Things that you need to be acutely aware of that aren't cute, that really, they are things that will get in the way. And if they're doing them now, they'll do them tenfold once you're living in the house.
Well, or even they might be cute right now, but you got to think long term on these things. You know, the importance of really being careful and choosing your next spouse carefully is so important. You have to have mindful decision making when you are choosing that new spouse, because the way that they do things is the way they're going to do them, like Mike said, tenfold. Okay?
Because relationship compatibility is important.
Yeah.
For one, let's just roll right into red flags. Okay, so what are some red flags? Well, one, how do they treat their kids when you're there?
Yep.
Are the kids completely disrespectful of them and they blow it off? Are they disrespectful of you and they blow it off?
When your kids come to you and say, such and such did this, do they immediately go to the kid's defense? Or do they hear to understand and try to figure out what actually happened?
Do you feel important when the kids are around, or do you feel like the third wheel?
Are you expected to do all the household chores with no help from the spouse's children?
Or do the kids have any chores? When you're over there, is mom or dad, whoever it is, are they picking up the toys? Are they cleaning up the mess? Are they doing the dishes? Are they letting the kids just do nothing? Because that's going to be you.
Right. And as parents of 5 boys, if you let kids sit around, they will find ways to be obnoxious, get in trouble, let their minds turn on things that they don't need to.
Idle hands are the devil's playground. That's an old saying, and it's absolutely true.
Yes.
Absolutely true. Other red flags. Now, what if you're dating someone who doesn't have kids? All right, but you have kids. Things to remember: how do they treat your kids?
Yep.
Does it seem more fake in the beginning than it should be? Does it seem like it's over the top? Now, I'm not saying there aren't some nice people out there. There are wonderful people out there. The thing is you want to make sure that you can filter whether they're doing it just to get your attention.
Yes.
You know,
are they wanting to do things that you think they should do just because you think they should do them? Okay. Mike had a situation like that. And so when I came along, he just was not interested in having anything to do with this specific situation, because he wanted me to go and find the answers for myself. I don't want to get into all of that, but it was one of his sticking points was I just going to do things because he wanted me to, which I really, really am not good at that. So that wasn't an issue. But he had relationships prior to me where women would do things just to get what they wanted out of the situation. So you really have to watch. Your gut will tell you. And if you don't listen to your gut, that's your number one problem. Okay?
Gut's a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful tool. The other things to watch for are, okay, so kids are a huge one in there. Did they tell you about them? Did they not tell you about them? Did they?
Hey.
Yeah, she didn't tell me. How did they react? Do they, when say both of you have kids, when all of the kids are together,
Do you work as a team?
do you work as a team or is it us and them?
Yeah.
Okay? Because that's not going to change. Now, I'm not saying that you should expect all kids to get along. That is just,
They won't.
They say, scientifically speaking, they say it takes half as much as a kid is old to accept a parental figure. And what that means is if the kid is 14, it's going to take at least 7 years for that kid to accept you fully as a parental figure. Now, there's a lot of factors in these red flags that factor in. And one of the biggest things is pettiness. Okay, you can't let pettiness cloud the issue because it just gets in the way of everything. Kids are petty. Kids can be petty. Don't take it personally. I mean, keep it in perspective. But remember, what you're watching, you need to be okay. Okay, I feel like crap in this situation. I don't like how I'm being treated. Am I going to be okay with that for the next 50 years? Okay.
Yeah.
Am I going to be okay with this behavior because they never disciplined this kid? Am I going to be okay with this 8-year-old when he's 16 and 3 times worse?
Yeah.
So those are all, and don't go into it thinking, oh, I can fix this.
Yeah.
No, you can't. If you could fix it, no, just turn around, go the other way.
Yeah. You know, and there are lots of other red flags. Some of the ones I was thinking about was, how does your potential spouse treat their mother? Does their mother have all the say? Can their mother say whatever she wants without any, what would you call it?
And it's gospel without any repercussion.
Yeah. Can she say whatever she feels like saying to you? And they don't take the initiative to back you up or, what am I trying to say?
Let me give you an
Have your
example.
back.
Let me give you an example. My mom stopped talking to us. She hasn't talked to us in a few years. This is not a huge loss.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no reason to feel sorry for me. What happened was my mother always had negative things to say about me to my wife. And when Brenda had had enough of that, she called her on it and said, we need to sit down and discuss this because he's not just your son, he's my husband. And I'm not okay with you talking about him this way because he's not like that. And my mom's answer was, cut herself out.
Well,
Literally cut herself out and then told my wife that life was better without us. So why do I tell you that? Because you just need to understand that with Brenda, her relationship with me was more important than her relationship with my mom.
yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, once I found out about it, I told my mom she could kick rocks because this is my wife. She comes first and foremost. You're not just going to walk in and start disrupting things just because you're mom. You know, leave and cleave is a real deal. Whether you're religious or not, leave and cleave is a real deal. You leave the parents, you cleave to the spouse. That's it.
Yeah.
Sure, you got parents there for support and all that, but otherwise, your spouse is your it.
Yeah. And so you just cannot ignore these red flags when you're looking at a potential new spouse. You've really got to think through these things.
So that brings us to number 3, mindset matters. So it's not just emotions. Unfortunately, too many of us think with our heart and not our heads.
Yes.
Okay. And you'll notice the red flags. Your head will notice that. And your gut, when your gut starts talking to you, that's your head, not your heart.
Yeah.
Okay. So quit trying to trust your heart on things. Don't follow your heart if your head's like, I think this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
So mindset matters. You got to go into it with a mindset of what's best for me, what's best for my kids, and what's best for them and what's best for their kids. Sometimes stepping back or walking away means that you have to decide that you are not the best fit for that person. And that's just not going to work.
Well, and another divorce is only putting more problems for all of the kids in the in the family, for yourselves. Like, there are so many implications. So think with your head, not your heart. All right. You know, Hollywood's really tried to trick us and turn it on its head when it's not your heart that tells you, it's your gut. You know what is right and what's wrong. If you just tune in on your gut instinct.
So
now the bonus.
Let's go into the bonus. Yeah, we usually do 3, but occasionally I have a bonus. This time we have a bonus. And this one applies. Let's talk about sex before marriage. Now, yes, you've already had sex from your prior marriage. We all know that this is blended family stuff. We know everybody's had sex already.
Yep.
I went through quite a few studies, and it has been shown that marriages that wait until the wedding day and after, obviously, for the sexual experience have better communication, have better longevity, and have a better recorded sex life. And I don't mean they recorded, I just mean their responses are that they are much more gratified in their sexual experience with each other having waited, because that shows a level of commitment. Now, I know everybody's like, that's so old school. That's so, no, the stats still show the model works. If you jump into bed with somebody because you're lonely, and I get it. I did the same thing when I got divorced. I was lonely. I was hurt. I get it. But it did not serve me. Didn't serve me. And I'm just telling you straight up, have the fortitude to respect your potential spouse enough to wait.
Yep. You know, it really clouds your judgment. So when we're talking about red flags, you're not going to notice those things as much if you're already in a sexual relationship with your potential spouse. That is the fact. And so do what you got to do in order to keep yourself away from that whole situation. Now, a lot of people say, well, what if I don't like whatever? You can say whatever you want. This is by all the numbers.
The stats show otherwise.
Yeah. And we're going to do a longer video about that next. So if you're interested in more on this topic, just go to the next video. So anything else? All right. So with that, we are going to close out this video. We thank you so very much for being here. And just go down below if you have a private question that you want to ask me that's not here on the public forum. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.